Now, right, okay, give me your attention for the next 20 minutes or so. What I've put up on the classroom for you is the Vegeta character in a T-pose already rigged. You guys probably have your own version anyway, because it was what we used to teach rigging. But if you want a finished one, then there's one there. You don't have to use it, but you can if you want. You can add your animations to Unity without having the character inside 3D Studio Max. You can just have the skeleton with the biped, which is what I think most people have done. So a lot of this work has been sorted out by me. All of this sort of stuff here about Mechanim, I can share with you the tutorial that I used in order to get to this stage. It's about 30 minutes long. It's fairly simple to understand as well. There's a couple of things that I think they're using an older version of Unity, so they tell you to do something that I had to work out how to change that. But I'll put that tutorial on the classroom for you if anyone's interested in learning to do this bit themselves. Okay, so a few things that we need to sort out. One, with your character, your standard biped, let me just get rid of this guy actually to start with. Let's do a new scene. Okay, so you've got your standard biped character in your scene. First thing that you need to change, and it doesn't matter, it won't change your animation, but it needs to be done. Unity doesn't recognize thighs going straight into a spine. They should be going into the pelvis. And also clavicles shouldn't go straight into neck. They should go into spine. Okay. So the first thing that you can do with your biped character that you've got there is open up this schematic view and then find your thighs, select both of them, click the unlink button so that they become separated from the entire hierarchy. Then with them still selected, if you deselect them, you can just reselect them. Use the connect tool, click, hold down and drag over to spine. So you want your thigh pelvis, you want your thighs going onto pelvis. Then do the same thing. So clavicles, 1, 2, click detach, and then have those 1, 2, 1, 2, attached to spine. Okay. It won't change your animation. It won't make bones go all weird or anything like that. It's just a simple little trick to change. And that's how Unity reads humanoid characters. Kind of makes more sense, doesn't it, as well? Thighs going into pelvis as opposed to spine. So anyway, that's the first thing to do. Once you've done that, and you've got your animation, you shouldn't change your animation. Your animation should still be the same. So for this one, I'm just going to throw an example on there. So I'm going to go into my load, and then I'm going to grab this slap. So this is the animation. Okay. So with that all ready, when you're happy and you've got your idle done, your walk done, your run, and your attack, they do not have to all be on the same timeline. In fact, it perhaps even works better if they're not. We found that out yesterday. So try and keep them separate. If you want me to go through how to separate them with you, I can do that on a one-to-one basis. Who here has put all of theirs on one timeline? Yeah. Okay, we'll separate. It's only one of you then. I'll come and help you in a minute. We'll just separate them. So try and keep them all separate. Then, so imagine this is your attack. You come to File, Export. You're exporting it as an FBX file. Click Save. I'm going to replace the one I've already just tested. This part's important. If you've got your character in the scene and you want to use it and you want to keep its textures, make sure that you click Embed Media. If you're just doing a biped like the one that's on screen for me, then click Animation. Under Bake Animation, make sure that's ticked. Okay. Excuse me. Check if your start and end times are correct. So if your walk cycle is 1 to 30 or 32, and this is going up to 100, then your character is going to walk for a bit and then stop and be dead for a while and then walk for a bit. Okay, so make sure that your timings are correct. So that'd be a little tick box there. Click OK. That's done. Then you can download from the classroom this Unity package. Okay. When you import this package, you will get the Playmaker install box appears on the left-hand side of Unity. You won't be able to close it. It will just keep staying there. It's a weird little bug. The way to get around it is you just click play and then click stop, then you can close it. Don't know why. That's how it works. Once you've done that, you'll be presented with this. This is the exact scene that you will have. Now in here, I've made it as simple as I can. You've got animations, which is where you're going to import your animations into. So for me, I've got idle, run, walk, and attack. And then I've got the materials are in here for the Vegeta character. They should automatically load. If they don't, just give me a shout. And then I've got Playmaker already built in. So you do not need to import Playmaker beforehand. Even if you're at home on your version of Unity at home, you don't need to import Playmaker. Don't do it because it will get confused when you've got two versions of scripts and things like that in Playmaker. You'll start having problems. Okay, this is what you'll end up with. So what you then do is you can delete these ones if you like. No, actually, don't delete these ones. That's wrong. You need to replace these ones with yours. Okay, so as an example, I'm going to import that slap that we just created. That slap isn't in my Unity scene at all at the moment. So I'm going to go import new asset, slap test, open. It brings it in as another animation. Okay. Then what I want to do with it is have it selected. And then over here in the inspector, you want to click on the model, on the rig, change the animation type for the rig from generic to a humanoid, because that's what it is. Okay. Then click apply. If you haven't done the resetting the thighs to the spine or the pelvis, etc., you'll get a nice big error message turn up here saying Unity doesn't understand why you've created your character that way. All right. So make sure that you see that. If you see that, then you go back to the start of this tutorial. Animation-wise, if it's something that is going to be looping, so i.e. a walk or run or an idle, then you want to click this loop time here. If it's an attack, you don't want the attack to just keep looping. You want it to play at one time. So you don't click it. All right. With that done, you can test. You can see it in here. So this is Unity's sort of pre-made little character guy. So you can see whether your animation looks all right, if it's working fine. Cool. Done. So then what you're doing then is you're grabbing. I've given you attack, idle, run, and walk. All you need to do is click the little drop down for the attack in this case, and I'm going to do the drop down for my slap test as well. And then if I click attack Vegeta here, in the animation, here, this is the animation that it's looking for. Okay, so at the minute it's got take 001, which had been taken from this attack. So I've just dragged and dropped that in. So with your new one, your animations, so you'll import your own attack, drop down, grab take 001 and replace it. Okay, so I'll show you the difference. So this is it without. Again, they were both kind of stolen. So here's the attack that he's got in the minute, which is a punch. And then you guys are going to import your own, replace it with your own, and then Vegeta will use your attack that you've created instead. Okay, it's that simple. So your walk setup, your run setup, your idle setup, you just got to replace it with the animations that you've created. Then all the keys are already set up on here, so you can walk forward. I made him walk on the spot so that we can do a nice little, we don't need to mess around with cameras following him. We can just have a nice little animation with him walking around, and the mouse control moves on the second stick. That might be the only thing that isn't working on the version that you've got. If it doesn't, if your right control stick isn't working, it's a really easy fix. I'll show you how to do it. So you go to edit, come down to project settings and input, so the input device, right? Click on that. And then here, mouse X and Y, which is what would normally control them, look around, hit the drop down, and this will normally say mouse or key, and this will normally say X axis. Change it from type, from mouse or key to joystick, and the axes to number 4, which is your horizontal. So this is only for an Xbox controller. If it's PlayStation, it's something, I think it's 5 and 6. And then mouse Y, exactly the same, change it to joystick, and it's number 5. So it's 4 and 5 for Xbox. Okay, just remember that. The amount of sensitivity depends on how much you want. So if you're moving it around, do you want it to move nice and slowly around, or do you want it to whiz around? So just changing the sensitivity will do that. Okay, so I've just put mine to 1. It's kind of all right. Probably half is a bit better. That, I think, is it. Let's see if we can get your animations in using that little tutorial. We'll go from there.